Hey, my name is Katie Pijanowski, and I'm a certified life coach and motivational speaker, and I'm here to help you unlock your true strength so you can create the life of your dreams. I teach you my best tips to master your mindset, create confidence, and empower yourself to take back your life. It's your time. This is the Mind and Body Strong podcast. Good morning, happy Tuesday. It's Katie Pijanowski here, and I wanted to share with you some quick tips on how to energize your morning. So if you know me, you know that I'm pretty much a morning person, but there was actually a time in my life where it was very, very difficult to wake up in the morning. I was going through a lot of life transitions. I was feeling like I needed to change my career. I was just out of a long-term relationship. It felt like everything in my life was just up in the air. It was very stressful, very overwhelming, and in the mornings, I would wake up and just feel so heavy and just, I don't want to start this day. Like, this is so awful. And I started like saying these mantras to myself. And let me know if you're hopping on here live, how you feel about mornings. Like, let me just know straight up, how do you feel about mornings? Let's be honest right here, because the only way we're going to progress to being an energized morning person is if we're honest about where we're starting from. I'm sweating a lot because I just worked out. But some of the mantras that some of you might be saying about mornings already is that you hate mornings, or that you're not a morning person, or I can't start my day until after I've had coffee. How many of you have ever said some of these things? Or just even, mornings. I know one of my friends, she used to say that, one of my coaching clients, she was like, mornings, like I don't want to wake up. So I want to give you guys, first of all, let you know that you're not alone if you're feeling like that in the mornings. Second of all, I want to give you some tips on how to re-energize your morning so that you can start your day off with more energy, feeling more positive. Mornings are my thing, dude. So if you know me, you know that I am energized and awake and ready to go in the mornings. And I want to give you guys some tips on how to do that. So my biggest thing about re-energizing your mornings and getting your day started off right is a morning routine. When I was feeling really depressed, when I was going through a lot of life transitions in my life, I was still kind of healing my relationship with food and my body, so I really wasn't working out at the time, and just getting up felt hard. So I had to really, really start small in order to get myself back into the place where I was looking forward to my mornings again. So for me, I started a few small habits. I woke up, made my bed, woke up as soon as my alarm went off, not hitting snooze a million times. So that's number one. Number two is I would make my bed. I would get up and make my bed so that I couldn't jump back in my bed and try to go back to sleep. Then I would brush my teeth, drink some water, and that was it. Whatever I chose to do after that point was totally up to me. And I would just start with the first thing. So if it's really hard for you, or maybe you're just not a bed making person, totally fine. But when your alarm goes off, when you've committed to yourself that you are waking up at a certain time, wake up. This is actually something I'm guilty of doing in the last couple of weeks from working from home for so long. I'm like, I'll just sleep another 30 minutes. It's fine. But the thing that happens when we make a commitment to ourselves to wake up at a certain time and then we don't follow through is we're basically just breaking trust with ourselves. And every time we're breaking that trust, we're losing confidence in our ability to trust ourselves and that we'll follow through with the commitments that we've made. So the first thing is set an alarm. And I would recommend getting 7-ish hours of sleep. I can usually function pretty well in 6. I think maybe it's because of all the years of waking up at 4 a.m. to do boot camp for CG. I function pretty well on 6-ish hours of sleep, but I try to get about 7. Set your alarm, wake up as soon as it goes off. I find it easy, if you set your alarm for a song or something that's enjoyable, I find it a little bit easier to get up. Also, another tip about alarms. So many little tips in here, guys. I hope you guys are loving this. So one of the things I do is I keep my phone on my desk away from my bed. So I legit have to get up out of bed to turn it off. I have to get up out of bed, turn it off, and from there I can start my day. I can make my bed, I can brush my teeth. you can drink some water. So I'll usually drink water, or like for today, my roommate and I work out in the mornings in our living room. And so I drank some pre-workout and I started journaling. So now I have this whole morning routine, but it started with just that first commitment of waking up when my alarm went off. That is the first thing you can do to start your day off energized, because you're keeping a commitment to yourself. It's a big deal. It's not just, oh, I'm going to sleep another 8 minutes when an alarm goes off. It's keeping a commitment to yourself. So that's the first thing I always recommend to my clients. And actually, I had a client who I worked with who wanted to start working out in the mornings. She has kids, but she was just like, oh, it's such a chore. It's so awful. And she was like in this place, right? So I was like, well, what would happen if you just like woke up 15 minutes earlier, like just woke up and brushed your teeth, and like whatever you did from there was totally cool. Like just get in the habit of waking up a little bit earlier. You don't even have to do anything. Just wake up earlier. Okay, now we've got that for 7 days. Now let's do some jumping jacks. Cool, not a big deal, right? Did that for 7 days. And then you slowly start to build yourself up to where you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. So that's what happened for me. I realized once I was waking up and I was already up, I like made my bed, brushed my teeth, drank some water. I was like, what do I want to do? So usually I would read or I would journal. So for a while I was doing gratitude journaling. I still do it actually, where I would write 5 things I'm grateful for in the last 24 hours. So you can really feel into that experience of gratitude. And that's why I do it in the last 24 hours. And then I would write like my dreams, 10 dreams that I want to accomplish in present tense. So like I have paid off all my debt. I own a horse, like things like that. And I would start journaling. Sometimes I would just free journal and write all of the thoughts, like all the shitty thoughts that were going through my head, so I could actually see them on paper and be like, is this really something I want to continue to think for the rest of the day? And if it was, like, cool, whatever. But at least I was like getting myself in the motion of doing it. So once I was doing that for a while, I was like, it would feel good to like move my body in the morning. And I started getting back into a workout routine. And luckily my roommate and I do it together. So that's been really nice, a great motivating factor for us to both do it. But I realized that before, when I was going into a exercise routine, it was very much so to lose weight, to change my body, which I want to say is totally a neutral circumstance. It's not good or bad. It's just a thing, right? So in my experience, it was something that was bringing me negative emotion. And this time when I went into a workout routine, I was doing it because moving my body in the morning literally moved all of the negative crap out of me and helped me to like start my day off with more positivity. For me, sometimes I get too much in my head, and for me, what helps with that is literally moving my body. It could be just doing some burpees really quick and then doing some jumping jacks. Like moving my body, getting my heart rate going helps to move the emotions that are going on out of me. And I start to just have more motivation, more energy. I mean, that's why I feel like this right now. And I started to see that working out in the morning was a priority to me because it helped me move through the brain fog I was feeling at work. I wasn't really feeling so much of a crash in the middle of the day anymore. And it's all because of how I was starting my day. And I want to also just mention that it's not even just about the actions that we're doing, because we could all be doing the same, someone else could be doing the same actions as me in the morning, but they could be thinking, this is awful, I have to do this, I should do this. And anytime you say I should do this, you're thinking about how this is on someone else's agenda, not yours. And that's why it feels so icky when you say I should be doing this. It's someone else's agenda you're following. I want to question you if you're saying that to yourself, like whose agenda are you following? Is it your own? Are you doing this by choice? Like, are you doing this for yourself? And it doesn't always have to bring about a negative, like a positive emotion all the time. Like you can choose to do things that you know are maybe not going to make you feel great. Like my coach always says, courage is not a good feeling. Courage feels icky, but we need it in order to show up in our lives in the way that we want to, right? Super important. So I want to also just throw that piece out into the live. But how you think about your mornings, I think, is so valuable. When I wake up, and this is not every single day, sometimes I'm like, ugh, like, dang it, and then I catch myself. And I'm like, oh wait, I do like mornings. So switching the way you think about your mornings, I think, is like the biggest thing that's going to drive more positive emotions into your life, which will drive those actions, which will drive better results in your life. I 100% believe that. I'm actually teaching that in my free group on Facebook today about self-care for the mind, and I'll be teaching a lot about how our thoughts create our results. It's going to be a really exciting training. Super excited. You guys can hop in there if you'd like. Yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys because I know so many people are like, it's Monday, it's the morning. And to me, I'm just like, yeah, it's awesome. It's a great opportunity to start over, to have an amazing day. And it's just the way I think about it that is different. So I want to offer that to you. You can borrow my thoughts about the morning. You can borrow some of my habits that I've used to start my day off with energy. And if this has resonated with you guys at all, I invite you to, let's get on a call. Let's figure out what's roadblocking you. Let's find out how your thoughts are creating your current results and how we can shift that to get the results that you actually want. Let's jump on a call. I put the information, I believe, in the description. I think I need to add no, you guys can just message me. It's easiest. So if this resonated with you, just reach out to me. Let's jump on a call. No obligation. Like, let's just figure out where your thoughts are leading you to the results you currently have and figure out how to shift that so that you can get what you want. Like, how cool is that, right? Like, our thoughts create our results 1000%. So we have to dig deep and figure out what are those thoughts so that we can get to where we want to go. So have an energized morning. I know I will. About to teach a training for my corporate team. I work full-time at a mortgage company and I do trainings, love it. So about to teach an 1.5 hour long training in just a little bit. You guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for listening in.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Mind and Body Strong podcast. You are what makes this movement and message possible. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, a coworker, a family member, or take a screenshot and share it on your favorite social media platform and tag Mind and Body Strong. To learn more about coaching and courses to help you take your journey to the next level, visit mindandbodystrong.com.